between the hedges. And our matchup, the 7th-ranked Georgia Bulldogs against the Wildcats of Kentucky. 93,000 on hand for the final home game here in Athens on Senior Day as well. And as you take a look at the SEC East standings, Georgia obviously on top. They already know for the first time since 2012 they're going to play in Atlanta for the SEC Championship the first Saturday of December. Kentucky's had a fine season and comes in here with a 7-3 record. As Georgia's Dogs, number 1 a week ago, number 7 now, about to break through the G. And onto their home field, where they have won them all so far this year. Here come the Dogs. And we welcome you, everybody. Brad Nessler along with Gary Danielson. One blemish now on the Dogs' record. We saw it a week ago. So they go from number 1 to number 7. But everything's out there for them, Gare. They can still keep winning. They can still make the college football Final Four. But they have to regroup after what we saw a week ago.
And I think for Georgia, I think they're fortunate on Cupcake Weekend to be playing a real good, legitimate foe in Kentucky. A physical football team should get them ready to play football and put last week behind them.
Auburn had the blueprint. I don't know if Kentucky can do what they did, but they stopped the Georgia ground game.
And the only way to do it is stop their main guys that have the football. Nick Chubb and Sony Michel, as Auburn did a week ago. If you stop the 2 main guys for this Georgia offense, then you put it back, as you said, the blueprint everybody all year has been saying, can we put it in Jake Fromm's hands? Now, he wasn't the worst guy on the field for that offense last week. In fact, when you talk to the coaches, they say he handled himself well. And let's see, coming into this game, could Georgia tweak their offense a little bit thinking forward?
Well, they made a lot of stupid mistakes and penalties, all of that. They've got to get rid of that this week, too. But Kentucky comes in here. They've kind of got the blueprint, too. Solid ground game and a good defense.
You know, they're called a physical football team, and they better be physical in this football game. Benny Snell is their physical football player. When you watch him run, he sets what that Kentucky offense is. But the real key here is, can the Blitz brothers, those 2 linebackers for Kentucky, Josh Allen and Denzel Ware, can they do enough to get it into an opportunity so that they can blitz the quarterback? They better bulk up, because they have to stop the run first.
We mentioned Senior Day today. So many great players. Actually, a lot of them that could have gone to the NFL and chose to return, like Lorenzo Carter and Davin Bellamy, Dominique Sanders, Aaron Davis defensively for the Dogs. And then on offense, you'll hear the big cheers for Sony Michel and Nick Chubb. Roommates, best friends, and playing their final game here in Athens today. And more on that. Third member of our team, Allie LaForce. Allie?
Brad and Gary, it seems like ages ago that a freshman named Nick Chubb was scoring a touchdown in Georgia's season opener against Clemson. That was just a sneak peek into what this now senior class would mean to Georgia football. The 9-0 start to start this season was the best since 1982. They clinched a trip to the SEC Championship game. That's something that no player on this roster has ever gotten to experience. They also still have a shot at the college football playoff, and if they don't look too far ahead, a win today would make them the only team to go undefeated against the Eastern Division teams. But it's not about stats on Senior Day, guys. The guys you mentioned, like Nick Chubb, like Sony Michel, Lorenzo Carter, Davin Bellamy, they chose to come back after Kirby Smart's first year, and that's why Kirby told us today will be very emotional for him. When I asked him what he was going to tell the team before the game, he said, I'm just going to tell them I love them.
I tell you what, he was emotional even in the meeting yesterday, and he talked about guys like Nick and Sony and saying they're the pillars that we will build Georgia football on for the future. Great day, 68. Cloudy skies. We had some sun at times.
I think it's a great opportunity for Kentucky as well, though, Brad. Coming into this football game, a signature road win. I know they had one at Louisville and South Carolina in the past, but can they do it against the heavyweights?
The Cats won the toss, elected to defer. That means Georgia's going to bring it out of the end zone. Nicole Hardman got a little crease, and he got out. Nice return out to the 25-yard line. As we check the Chick-fil-A starting lineups, and it all starts with the freshman, number 11, Jake Fromm. Passing efficiency-wise was great until a week ago, but as Gary said, it wasn't his fault. At least not all his fault, the setback at Auburn a week ago. There's his numbers coming in. And the Dogs will snap it at the 26-yard line. Nick Chubb, as you look behind him in his familiar spot with Fromm in the Georgia backfield. And Nick will get the first carry, and he won't get much. Check the rest of the starting lineup for Georgia. Win a senior in there, as is Blazevich. You saw the tight end in motion. Javon Wims, who's been really good this year as a wide receiver. And we didn't pull out a highlight because this guy isn't listed as a starter, but he does a lot of different things. Mecole Hardman, you already saw him run back the kick, but he's a dangerous wide receiver as well.
Yeah, I wonder how they'll get him involved, especially after he had that big drop punt a week ago. I bet they want him in this football game.
On 2nd and 9, trying to go after DeAndre Swift. And nice coverage out there by Mike Edwards. As you take a look at the Kentucky defense, Jim Chaney, the offensive coordinator, said, I don't like safeties that are good tacklers. Mike Edwards, who just made that play, is a good tackler. In fact, leads them in that category. He had 13 tackles against Georgia a year ago.
And again, earning the right to rush the passer. That's what Auburn did a week ago.
3rd down and 9. Fromm pressured from behind. A little step to the left, and he got it to Mecole Hardman for a first down. Felt the pressure there nicely and just kind of eased his way out of it, Gary.
Yeah, sometimes as that ball, that's close. And they might have to look at that again because it looked like it bounced after he got his hands on it, and then they re-caught it. That was not a good look at it, but I wonder if they'll take one more pause here before they stop. Yeah, I think they might call this back.
And there's the whistle.
Yeah. Looked to me like he double caught it, and in between it might have touched the turf.
Previous play is under further review.
Tough to tell there, too.
Yeah, that was a little, couldn't quite get a handle. I think this is the best look for us, and the replay official, obviously. Bounce, and it hits the ground. I think this one's going to come back.
I do, too. Doyle Jackson is our replay official.
You were right, though. The underrated part of a quarterback is his movement in the pocket. It doesn't have to be 30-yard runs all the time. Just that little wiggle to the outside to buy some time. That's what Jake Fromm did on that play. That's what makes that offensive line feel so much better about themselves, is just giving it an extra half second to make that throw.
The call on the field was completed pass, but we continue to wait to see under review whether or not we're going to have a first down or a punt.
One change that Georgia has made in their offensive line after struggling a week ago, Ben Cleveland, as Brad showed you, the starting lineup, he has moved into that right guard position, the 3rd different player to play that position this year.
Here we go, Hubert Owens.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. First down.
All right.
So again, for the replay official, he did not see enough to overturn it.
So Georgia with a first down at the 36-yard line. Sony Michel in the Georgia backfield. And he gets the carry. Again, not much. Darius West came up from the safety spot to make the hit.
Well, can this Kentucky rush defense? I don't think they have the 4 up-front players that Auburn had when they were winning the line of scrimmage. Not many teams do.
I was going to say almost nobody does.
But I think this linebacker crew can probably play with anybody, these 4 guys.
2nd down and 7.
I count Ware as a hybrid. He's half linebacker, half defensive end.
That play never looked good from the start. First of all, Kentucky almost jumped off sides, and now Georgia with a false start.
Number 71, 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Andrew Thomas, a freshman right tackle. Here he's talking about Kentucky's rush defense is 4th in the SEC, 19th in the country. Problem is they give up too many passing yards.
Well, and part of that is that, Kentucky's offense has been moving the ball and teams are passing the ball against them to stay in the football game. Less running plays.
All 3 wideouts to Fromm's left. That's where he fires complete. Levon Wims breaks a tackle. Out of bounds around the 43.
That was an odd-looking play for Georgia. It was like stacked hitch routes here. Watch the 2 Georgia players. They kind of both run hitches to the outside. Don't see that very often. I got to believe one of those guys had a busted route.
Worked out for him, but you're right.
It's like baseball. You throw to the cutoff guy, and if you don't hit it, there's a guy behind him.
So 3rd down and 3. They got their last 3rd down conversion. Empty backfield for Jake Fromm. Quick throw, and it's intercepted. Picked off, and it's one of the Blitz brothers, Josh Allen. And Kentucky's got it.
I do not know why Jake Fromm missed this one. There was no look of a blitz. Look at it was clearly just a 3-man blitz right here, and the linebacker standing right there. Boy, that was a tough read for your quarterback to miss. I mean, it's an 8-man drop. Those linebackers are going to be covering that short territory. That's probably one of the poorest decisions Jake Fromm has made all season.
So Josh Allen, who leads Kentucky in tackles for loss and sacks, comes up with the interception.
Brad, sometimes you can get fooled when those linebackers are in the line of scrimmage and they back out. But on that one, it was clearly an 8-man drop.
So a gift for the Kentucky offense at the Georgia 32-yard line. Steven Johnson in the gun, wants to throw on 1st down. Does, and completes it, flag down as C.J. Conrad, the tight end, makes the catch. Put a flag on the play.
Yeah, I think David Bellamy is going to get called for holding, and they're going to kind of maybe decline it or take the penalty for the 1st down anyway.
With that, the Chick-fil-A starting lineup for Kentucky, and there's the guy that just completed that pass to go just a little over 1,800 yards on the season.
Was holding on Bellamy.
There were 2 fouls on the play, 1 by each team. Holding, defense number 17. Personal foul, top block, number 26 on the offense. Those penalties offset. 1st down.
There's Benny Snell that's called for the penalty on Kentucky, their star sophomore tailback.
Yeah, I had my eyes downfield watching the coverage on that one and did not see Snell do the chop block, and that is a break. Let's start over. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, that's what they'll do at the 32. Try it again.
Here's that unbalanced line that gave Ole Miss problems. They run the bubble screen to the outside from this a lot.
Snell off the right side. Got inside the 30 down to the 28-yard line as we take a look at the rest of the starting offense for Kentucky. And much like we did with the Georgia starting lineup, we don't have anybody highlighted there because the guy that's not listed as a starter who's becoming a big play guy is Lynn Bowden. Right there, number 1. Does a lot of different things. Will run the Wildcat. He's a return man. Dangerous player, freshman that's growing up in a hurry. 2nd and 5. Snell again. Going to be short of the 1st down by a couple. Georgia's defense makes the stop there to bring up a 3rd down, and here is the Dogs defense. Dominic Sanders, one of their seniors, 1 interception shy of the all-time mark here. That's shared by McCarthy Rambo. And now the Dogs defense looking for a stop on 3rd and short. Snell, 1st down, and a couple extra tough yards.
Well, it's hard if you're Kentucky and Ed Gans, their offensive coordinator, after watching the Auburn football team run the ball right at Georgia with Kerryon Johnson, and you got a guy just like him who's a physical runner, and not try to say, let's see if they can stop the run, right? Yep. I mean, before we do anything else, let's see if we can block them first.
You see Snell with back-to-back 1,000-yard campaigns for Kentucky. Joined in the backfield by Saheem King now. They fake it to King. Johnson running for his life. Bellamy was given chase, and the throw is incomplete, out of bounds. Talking about Benny Snell, and that's good company right there. True freshman and sophomore in the last 20 years to have back-to-back 1,000-yard campaigns.
You know, and ironically, and that's a year ago when Vern and I did Kentucky in their second game against Florida, neither Steven Johnson nor Benny Snell were really a factor in the game at all. Snell didn't have carry in the first 2 games, and a different quarterback, Drew Barker, was starting that football game.
At the 20, second down at 10, Kentucky. Play action. Johnson reloads, throws, incomplete, intended for his tight end. Georgia had it pretty well covered.
And just a little bit more patience. I think David Richardson, number 11, might have opened up. Just a little bit more to the outside right there. Right side of the screen. Just a little more patience by Johnson. I think he would have had one to the outside. This was a tough throw down the middle.
And it brings up third down at 10. Four wideouts for Kentucky, 3 to the top of your screen. Johnson fires near side. Would have been an acrobatic catch, incomplete. Taven Richardson, the intended receiver.
Yeah, but I'll tell you, Malcolm Parrish, one of the seniors that got introduced, got his picture taken, was right in the grill that time. There's no chance on that one. That was either thrown high for a, high point throw. That's how you got to cover to the outside, because man to man, you leave no room for that throw. Good coverage by Malcolm Parrish.
Brings in Austin McGinnis. He's hit 9 straight field goals. This will be a 37-yard attempt. He's hit 10 straight field goals. So the interception of Fromm turns into 3 points for Kentucky. And the Cats on the road take the lead in Athens. For first. And for Jake Fromm, that was his 5th interception of the season.
Just thinking about Kentucky's last drive, Brad. They run 3 straight times for a first down. And then the last 3 times they pass and don't get anything. Remember, for Kentucky's offense, all of their running plays are tied to passing plays, right. So it might have just been quarterback decisions. They might have to go over those decisions when they end up.
McGinnis kick. And this one, Hardman will have to let go, and they'll bring it out to the 25. Georgia last week, after going in to the Plains, were the #1 rushing team in the SEC. They're #2 now, because the first 9 games, the 9-0 start, there's what it looked like points per game. Last week held to 17, and the rushing game was just non-existent last week.
And that really sets up an interesting, game plan for this Kentucky football team, who prides themselves, Mark Stoops does, in being able to play physical football, but also Georgia looking forward. What got them here was 70% run, but do they tweak it as they move forward?
There's DeAndre Swift with Nick Chubb in front of him. That's a tough 2 or 3 yards, too.
Yeah.
Jordan Jones, first guy there. And talking about that 70% run mix, and Jim Chaney, the offensive coordinator, told us yesterday, can't win a championship doing that, though, right?
No, I don't think he doesn't believe, if you're Jim Chaney or Kirby Smart, that 70% run is going to beat Auburn and Alabama.
Right.
Now, it might beat some teams, and they don't know if it can beat Kentucky. They're going to find out, but I think they've realized now they have to be different to win the SEC championship.
Comes a blitz on 2nd and 7, flag down. Nick Chubb, his best run so far, is about a yard shy of the first down. And Bohanna going off for Kentucky and heading to the locker room.
Illegal formation. 5 players lined up in the backfield. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
The penalties hurt him a week ago, especially the 15-yard version, but even those kind drive Kirby Smart crazy.
Yeah, this player right here needed to move up on the line of scrimmage. That produced the 5th player. You have to have 2 tight ends. They only have 1 end man on the line of scrimmage.
So that backs it up to 2nd and 13. Play action for Fromm. Here comes the pressure. They get to him. It's got to dive to get back to the 20-yard line. Talking about the penalties a week ago. There's no such thing as a good penalty, but we call that bad penalties, like a late hit out of bounds, for instance. Interfering with a punt return. Hurdling on a punt. This is illegal. You can't do that. It's for the safety of the players.
Yeah, I think a penalty on a special team, though, is especially egregious because it really is like giving the ball back. That's a turnover.
And you saw Sony Michel, the last shot. Sony was called for an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, which she says was unlike his normal game.
I think we got one of those pull the finger out, and it's not your uncle doing it.
Along with us, Baker Mayfield's one of my favorites. I love watching him play.
Yeah, has the ability to create plays either in the pocket or outside the play call. That's a special skill. And he's so competitive, isn't he?
TJ Carter over there on the sideline appears to be okay. Which uncle was it?
It was Uncle Hank, I think it was.
Uncle Hank at Thanksgiving time.
Bad time to pull his finger. You're right. You got it.
Well, pulling the trigger is Fromm, but he's incomplete, intended for Hardman. And it's going to bring up 4th down as we check in with Allie.
Guys, good and bad news for Kentucky. Quentin Bahana was taken to the locker room. As we saw, he's dealing with the right ankle injury. He's questionable to concern. They did tell me they're not doing x-rays at this point. They don't think it's that serious, so they are hopeful. And on the other end, TJ Carter, his left finger injury, they taped it back up, and he is cleared to return.
All right.
Quentin Bahana is a true freshman. It was a change for the Ole Miss game. They actually moved past 2 players, Pringle and Elam, to beat the nose tackle. He's an important cog in there. They need him back.
First punt of the day. Cameron Nizilik. Ooh, he just got it away and he got hit. We're going to have a flag. I think it's roughing the punter, but we'll wait and see.
Yeah, if it's roughing, it'll be an automatic 1st down.
He's still down.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. Number 6 on the defense.
There you go.
15-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
And that's a turnover. That's exactly what you talk about.
Ronnie Johnson called for the penalty, but Nizilik's still down.
Coming right off the edge. It actually gets squashed from 2 players back to back.
And the left knee right there does not go in that direction. And Nizilik still down. We'll check on him when we come back to Athens after this. But he didn't kick a lot last year. So these guys are both from the same school. Grad transfer is kind of strange. I think that's never happened before in the SEC.
Probably didn't, but a ways back, Columbia used to punt a lot, so maybe you need 2 punters.
That's exactly right. And he's really upgraded Georgia's punting game this year from what they did a year ago, so hopefully he's all right.
And remember that penalty that Georgia had a week ago turned into points. Can Georgia make it count against Kentucky?
Got a blitz coming as Nick Chubb's going to try to run through it. No big plays yet for Georgia. Explosive plays by either the ground game or through the air. But he did get 4, 2nd down 6. TJ Carter is back out there, as Allie told you.
And Pringle, number 77, is in for Bahana at the nose tackle spot.
320-pounder. Chubb again ran into his own blocker, trying to cut it outside and get to the edge, and he got there somehow. That was a long way to run for Chubb to get to the 42-yard line.
Yeah, I thought Mike Edwards had a chance to make a big play on this one. Penetration inside really forced that ball wide on the play from Daniel, number 20. But, man, Chubb made that into a 3rd and medium. It could have been 3rd and real long.
Chubb's out, Swift's in on 3rd and 4. And now Swift in motion. And it's going to be Fromm on a quarterback keeper. And he's got the 1st down and a bunch more. All the way down to the 38-yard line.
Well, this was quarterback draw all the way. This was not even close to a pass. The Georgia receiver started blocking, and Fromm makes a 1st down conversion. But give a lot of that to Chubb. They cannot call that play if Chubb doesn't get around the corner there and make that 3rd and medium.
Career long run, Gary, for Fromm, 21 yards, first down. And we got movement again on the offensive front. Kendall Baker, number 65.
Offense, number 65. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Not a lot of doubt about that one. 7 penalties last week for 75 yards. Very costly penalties, every one of them, against Georgia at Auburn. So behind the sticks a little bit again. 1st and 15.
Riley Ridley was thinking he was coming off the field, and they waved him back out.
And he goes out into the slot of 3 receivers to the right side. And now Blazevich in motion. Sony Michel got an opening off the right, made a move at the 35 and down to the 31-yard line.
Michel, stretch play to the outside, bounces it out wide, and actually it was Ridley who stayed in the game that caught the big hit at the play. He comes into crack, he does crack, and makes the play from about a 3 or 4 yarder into about an 8 yarder.
Kentucky player down. We cannot see his number right now. Might be Mike Edwards. It is their star safety, their leading tackler, and on the Thorpe watch list. They need him in that secondary against Georgia. Back here, Mike Edwards on the sideline, leading tackler among defensive backs a year ago, and the leading tackler for Kentucky coming in.
Well, 3 players, Ridley, Edwards, and then Courtney Love actually puts the hit there. But at the end of this play, you could have Darius West, number 25, looked at for a potential targeting right there. Now remember, that does not have to be called on the field. The replay official could call that, stop the game and make it, and Kentucky could lose both their safeties. Didn't happen.
2nd and 3, Sony Michel again, straight up the gut. First down, Georgia inside the 25. Allie's got a quick update for us.
Did confirm that Mike Edwards is dealing with the left hip injury. They're putting ice on it now. He's questionable to return.
All right, Allie, thanks. That is a huge loss for them in the secondary if he can't play anymore today.
It looked so innocent. It did not look like Riley barely touched him. Not as hard as Riley got hit. Let's put it that way.
Exactly. DeAndre Swift, well, he popped out of there for about 3 yards. And it seems like a ton of injuries for a first quarter. We haven't even completed the first quarter. Those 3 Cats right now, one's back in there after retaping the finger. And Georgia's had their punter head to their 10th. Nick Chubb back in for Georgia on 2nd down and 8. Quick throw and completion. And close to a first down, Javon Wims. See where they spot this one.
This is another one of those plays where the offensive line is run blocking and the quarterback's throwing the RPO to the outside. And what Auburn was able to do to Georgia is to take that away. Forced them to pass block by playing bump and run to the outside. They did not give Fromm any easy throws. Kentucky has backed off a bit, and you can see Jake is taking those easy throws. He's really comfortable doing that in their RPO offense.
They gave him the first down. So the Dogs in the red zone at the Kentucky 14. Here's a stretch play to Nick Chubb. Chubb inside the 10. And the Verizon red zone for Georgia, 37 scores in 38 trips. And the only other one was a fumble that counts as a trip into the red zone by Godwin a couple of weeks ago. So they've been perfect, or near perfect. That guy has 39 career rushing touchdowns in the Georgia record books.
He seemed so focused Friday when he walked in.
Boy, wasn't he?
Yep.
Let's see how focused he is here. Nick Chubb heading to the end zone. Touchdown, Georgia.
Nick Chubb with 6 touchdowns.
There's number 40 for the senior.
This play was designed to go to the left. And Chubb patiently sees it, feels it, and then hits the right side of the line. That is a really good run by Chubb. Lamont Gilliard, number 53, the center, got a key block.
Rodrigo Blankenship in for the point after. Up and perfect. So second only to Herschel Walker in the record books as far as rushing. And now he's got his 40th touchdown on senior day as Georgia caps a 75-yard, 12-play drive, 6 minutes and 21 seconds, and Nick Chubb did the final 8. Dogs lead 7-3.
Yo, check it out, dog. That was just all hype for me. I mean, you got the walk, you got the stance, but I wasn't really feeling it. You know what? I'm not buying this. You gotta come a little harder, dog. You gotta figure it out. I don't know. Shaky on the walk, carriage was off.
Randy Jackson judging a dog show?
I don't know, dog.
Surprising. What's not surprising? How much money Lisa saved by switching to Geico.
Oh, wow. Performance of the night.
15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Zaxby's is more than great food. It's flavor that brings people together. It sparks conversations, wins debates, reveals similarities, and puts a smile on everyone's face. Because when you share Zaxby's with your favorite people, it makes life more delicious. Now try our delicious chicken parmesan sandwich meal. Hand-breaded chicken fingers on Texas toast, topped with our own marinara and garlic parmesan sauces. Served with crinkle fries and a 22-ounce drink for just $5.99. Friends, family, flavor. Zaxby's.
Tuesday.
My water broke, Tim.
Go. NCIS will give you every reason to be thankful.
Best Thanksgiving ever.
New episode CBS Tuesday.
With the 4 receiving touchdowns in his career, and as I said, number 40 on the ground. Second only to Todd Gurley now. 44 touchdowns in his brilliant Georgia career. Nick Chubb. Remember that penalty on roughing the punter led to that 75-yard drive.
And it also maybe led to a key injury in the secondary. Mike Edwards, one of those 3-year secondary players that are so important in stopping the run coming up.
Lynn Bowden takes the kick from the goal line and hurdles out to around the 20-yard line as we do Project Smarter, presented by Home Depot. Garrett?
Well, sometimes you do a smart project by making a good decision, bringing in Ben Cleveland at guard and the veteran center at the middle, Lamont Gilliard. Watch the 2 blocks. Cleveland turns out to the right, and Gilliard, number 53, holds the block. All Nick Chubb has to do is get by one linebacker. That's not so easy. But look at those 2 blocks up front. The smart play, making a change at right guard and having your center hold that block. 2 pretty good plays for that offensive line.
Kentucky now trailing for the first time here in the quarter. Snell got about 3.
And Brent, you know what I think the next thing that's going to happen in college football? There's going to have to be one of those, turnover belts or things for
like Miami
offense.
has?
Yeah. I mean, they need an offensive line, and when you get a block like that, shouldn't you be able to stand up on the bench like the DBs and the linebackers
Or maybe
do?
just spread out a buffet on the sideline
why
or something.
is it just the defensive? Yes, a hamburger. How about that?
In the Wildcat right now for Benny Snell. And there's the quarterback coming back to join him now. Johnson getting some pressure for the first time, going down long. And is it caught?
Come on, how did he catch that?
He did. Blake Bone somehow got his hands through Malcolm Parrish.
How did he do that?
I don't know.
I thought, look at this catch backwards. He's going backwards as he catch it. Bones was actually going to the post. Johnson was throwing it to the outside. You don't see a better catch than that.
45 yards.
Holy cow.
Down very close to the 30. We'll mark it at the 31.
Parrish thought he had an interception. All of a sudden, it's a big pass play.
Here's a pitch to Snell. Tough run by Snell and a first down.
This guy runs angry.
He does.
He really does. He's really the heart and soul of this football team. As you look at Edwards go limping off. Again, that penalty could have cost a touchdown and one of your starting safeties leaving the game. But boy, look at Snell. Watch him. Runs angry every time he carries the ball. I bet Eddie Gantz is second guessing his play calling the last time he was down there with 3 straight passes after they ran the ball so effectively.
Right at the 20. First down, Kentucky. Snell again, this time no gain. Nice play defensively by Tyler Clark. Coming into the game, Snell in the last 3 games had 472 yards and 9 touchdowns. And we told you, first Kentucky player with back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. He's a load.
Yep, and we watched that whole, obviously, Auburn game up close, and we did not see one inside defensive lineman make a play like that play we just saw. Beating his man up front and making a play in the backfield.
Which makes it second down and 10. Final minute of the first quarter. Johnson throws his tight end. Should have had it.
Hit by Aaron Davis.
Justin Rigg, the tight end, couldn't hold it.
Yeah, this is 4 vertical from a tight formation, meaning 4 guys are going to run up the field. The inside player is going to go right here. You put the pressure by going outside. You've got the open seam, but you got to stick it in there. And as Brad said, it's a catchable ball, and you're expecting your big tight end to handle that.
Instead, third down and 10 now. Trying to take advantage of that 45-yard pass play to Blake Bone. See if Georgia's defense has got to stop on 3rd and 10. Just bring 3-man rush. It's a little bubble screen. It's not going to get a first down, though.
Yeah, that's tough to go inside like that when you're dropping 8 people and the Georgia defense. That might have been a little bit of a misread by the receiver. You got to go outside on that. There's too many people inside to make that tackle for any chance of a first down. Now, if they're blitzing, it's a different story.
So brings out a Groza semifinalist in Austin McGinnis. He hit from 37 earlier in the quarter. He's hit 10 straight. This will be a 35-yard field goal attempt to try to make it a 1-point game. Kick on the way and good. In the final 10 seconds, 11 seconds of the quarter. Well, they only get 3 out of it. But a great catch. One of the best you're going to see today right there is what set up McGinnis for the field goal. 7-6 Georgia.
Take a deep breath in and exhale. And a gentle wave-like motion. Liberate your spine. Good. And reach. Toes blossoming.
Not that great at yoga.
Yeah, but when I slipped a disc, he paid my claim before I knew it.
So he had your back.
Yep.
In just 1 day, we process approve and pay. 1-day pay, only from Aflac.
You need a little time. It's all it takes to make us smile. It's better when we get together. Me, myself, and I, we can get along just fine. It's better when we get together.
A game of honor, pride, and passion. The 118th Army-Navy game presented by USAA. Saturday, December 9th on CBS.
As you look in on Sanford Stadium, we remind you to get the CBS Sports app for the fastest scores and inside access to Kentucky, Georgia, or whoever your favorite team might be. Download the CBS Sports app today. 63-yard drive, most of it that one pass play from Johnson to Bone set up McGinnis field goal. 7-6 our score with 11 seconds remaining in the quarter. Elijah Holyfield and Nico Hardman wait on the kick. It will not be returnable. Bring it out to the 25. And that's where Georgia will go to work with a 1-point lead. Monday on CBS, join Kevin James and Lee Remedy for a Thanksgiving dinner that'll be stuffed with laughter. They always are. All new Kevin Can Wait. It's Monday at 8, 7 Central. Only CBS. Little pre-Thanksgiving weekend. Final home game for the Georgia Bulldogs between the hedges, and they've got a 1-point lead over Kentucky.
So I really knew when we were in our meetings on Friday that you live in this Georgia area, because you asked a question a lot of Georgia fans are asking. How come we don't throw the ball to the tight ends anymore, right?
I didn't say we, but I did say how come
yeah,
they don't
you
throw
did.
it.
That's true. I don't want to get you in trouble. Blazevich and Nada, why come the ball doesn't go to those guys? Two pretty good football players.
Nick Chubb, no gain on that one, and that will bring the quarter to a close. Jim Chaney just looked at me and said, don't call plays.
I know,
okay?
I know. I get enough of that already. My next door neighbor bothers me with that.
That's the end of the first quarter. Georgia at home leading Kentucky 7-6. We'll return to Athens after this message and a word from your local station. Mike Edwards coming out of the locker room and hopefully to return to the secondary for Kentucky. That east end zone where Georgia always has come out and passed the statue of Uga. Last time they did that is today, because on the west end they're putting about $60 million into a new facility, new locker room, so they won't have to run the length of the field and both teams don't have to come out of the same end zone. Starting the second quarter, Georgia's second down and 10 at their own 25. From throws outside to Wims. Picks up about 8, and that'll bring up third down and short. Brad Nessler, Gary Danielson back with you. You said the recipe was for Kentucky to be physical. They have been. For Georgia to get back what they had been doing through 9 wins, and they've done that.
I think Kentucky and Mark Stoops feels really good about how his football team is answering in this game. You know, I give all the credit in the world to Mark Stoops. I mean, he didn't just have to change attitudes at Kentucky. He had to change the whole culture there. His team is playing tough football. They have a chance, if they win, to get second in the East because they got the tiebreaker going.
Sony Michel trying to stretch it out, but he's going to be a little bit short. Yes. Checking with Allie.
Took Edwards to the locker room originally to deeper evaluate that left hip injury. He came back out. He did some backpedaling, some change of direction, looked really comfortable, and the team cleared him to play.
And he was in on that last snap, which forces a Georgia punt.
It looked like they added a hip pad in his repertoire of equipment too. A lot of those players don't like to wear them. I wonder if he did get that hip bruise. That's a painful injury that you can play, but usually it has to be shot to play.
Cameron Nizelik's back out there. That's good news for the Georgia punter. He was roughed up earlier. This is a high snap. He handles it well. And it's a nice kick. Going to call a fair catch back at the 15-yard line for Charles Walker. So Kentucky holds Georgia short of the first down, forces the kick, and their offense comes back out.
The Kentucky players are doing some coaching on the field here. And remember the leap a week ago. Now watch the Kentucky player try to leap up front on the punt. But right after that, the Kentucky players on the field grab him and say, you can't do that. That's a penalty. I guess they watched the game last week.
7 years, never a scratch.
That's more than a scratch.
What do you think about a new truck, buddy?
State Farm knows it's more than a truck, so why not give it the protection it deserves?
I am so sorry.
Talk to a State Farm agent today.
So, Verizon and Google have teamed up on the Pixel 2. It's a match made in tech heaven. It's like Verizon is the oil and Google is the balsamic.
No, actually, they separate into a suspension.
It's more like the Google Pixel 2 is the unlimited storage.
And Verizon is the best unlimited plan.
What if it's like H2 and O?
Yeah, like that.
I had a feeling that would score with you guys. Good meeting.
When you really, really want the best, get up to 50% off the Pixel 2 on Google's exclusive wireless partner, Verizon.
If you like your pizza loaded with cheese, then have we got a crust for you. Pizza Hut's Ultimate Cheesy Crust Pizza. 16 cheesy pockets overflowing with a 5-cheese blend of melted cheeses. Only from Pizza Hut and only for a limited time. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
If it's laughter you're looking for, give Kevin Can Wait a whirl. Catch Kevin James and Leah Remini in a new episode. CBS Monday at 8, 7 Central.
Earlier we told you about Georgia with a big penalty leaping the shield a week ago against Auburn, and Kentucky They got away with one because that should have been a penalty as well.
At least he didn't go over the top, but right away, DuBose hears it, number 98, from Adrian Middleton saying, hey, you can't do that. And then he got to the sideline and got an earful from Mark Stoops, as you saw just as we were going to the break.
At the 15-yard line, number 15 back to throw. And somehow tucked another one into Taven Richardson. Another tough catch.
Yeah, I thought he got his arm hit when he let the ball go, didn't he?
Yeah.
He is cool, boy. I'll tell you, there's one thing when you watch.
Our Aflac trivia question. And the Jets' historic upset of the Colts. Super Bowl III. Who scored New York's only touchdown? Well, let's put it this way. There's his nephew's on the field.
There's a reason why we're asking.
I guess I gave away too much. Here's Benny Snell on the carry. No, that's Saheem King. Never mind. And he's got a first down.
You had the question on your mind. That's why.
Yeah.
It would have been so perfect if Benny Snell would have got that handoff right there.
Let's put it this way. Saheem King didn't have anybody that played in that Super Bowl III. How's that? First down at the 26. King again. And he got about 3 more.
Just to give you an idea about Steven Johnson, when I talked to Eddie Gans, the offensive coordinator for Kentucky, about Steven Johnson, I said, how many of your plays does Steven Johnson have to make a decision on whether it's a zone read or an RPI throw? And he goes, all of them. All of them? He goes, oh yeah, every play we have is tied to another play. He's making a decision on every play of the game.
That's a lot of pressure on one guy.
Sure is.
Handling it every snap when it's not a Wildcat setup anyway. And 2nd and 7. Gives it off. Good run by King and a first down. Out near the 40.
Well, you know, Benny Snell is the powerful one, but King looks to be the one that makes people miss. And if he gives them that 1-2 punch, then you know that Kentucky offensive line and Eddie Gans, who wants to run the ball, is going to keep running.
Well, for instance, against Vanderbilt last week, Snell had 3 touchdowns.
Here we
King
go.
had 2.
Wildcat right here.
And King, whoa, he got leveled on that one.
Do you think that fakes anybody when Steven Johnson goes in motion and fakes the jet sweep?
No.
I don't think anybody buys that.
No.
I don't think. I think the
Roquan
linebackers
Smith
go,
didn't buy it. I know that.
Roquan Smith said, I might have been born at night, but not last night. Okay, I don't believe it. Until you hand that ball off to the quarterback on a sweep, I'm playing the dive play.
Roquan Smith, Georgia's leading tackler, right there in the middle, number 3. 2nd down and 9. Taven Richardson in motion, and the center official is trying to hold up play.
He did because it was a late substitution. He gives Georgia time to substitute as well. Stuff was so messed up that Kentucky took a timeout.
The first time out of the half.
We'll take a timeout with them. 10:46 remaining first half. Georgia in front by 1. Why that last timeout was forced to be taken by Kentucky, Gary.
Well, this is a really interesting shift in motion if you can get away with it. Taven Richardson, number 11, is on the bench. He goes in motion, but obviously Kentucky only had 10 guys on the field. They get their 11th, and then really good job by the officials to give Georgia opportunity. And then Bob Stoops is up here saying, wait, that's just a motion right there. And I don't think Mark Stoops, Bob might have saw it, but Mark Stoops did not see it.
Being in motion's one thing. Coming from 6 feet off the sidelines a little different.
Exactly. I don't think Mark knew he came from the sidelines.
King empties that backfield. Johnson throws a quick slant. Complete.
Yes, perfect.
Going to be short of the first down to Juice Johnson.
And I think if you're going to upset one of the top teams in college football, if you're Kentucky, okay, now playing physical football is good and running the ball is good, but I think your quarterback has to have one of those efficient games. I mean, 17 for 23, 16 for 22, and so far he has looked very accurate.
Right now he's out as a wide receiver with Benny Snell taking the direct snap in the Wildcat on 3rd down and 2.
This time Georgia doesn't like the look, and they take a timeout.
Georgia, their first time out of the half.
Not a happy head coach.
They had
Georgia's
11
side.
players out there, so they did not like the look.
Well, he was intense as a player. He was intense as an assistant coach, and he hasn't changed much as the head man. And the Jets upset of the Colts in Super Bowl III. Who scored New York's only touchdown? It was Benny Snell's great uncle Matt, who had over 100 yards rushing, and had it not been for Joe Willie Namath, probably would have been the MVP of that game. So I answered the question, and I told you he was on the field. He wasn't. He wasn't at the time, but he is right now.
It all worked.
It all works. Third down and 2. Let's see what Matt Snell's great nephew does here on 3rd and short. Got hit in the backfield trying to get there, and he's close, but he's short.
You know, I was surprised that they came back to the Wildcat after Georgia could set up, have a meeting about it, and they come back to the same formation. It looked like the same play they were going to call. I would think because of that was Kentucky thinking it's 4-down territory.
They're that much short, we think, unless they're going to take a look at this. I think they're going to bring the sticks out and make sure. Looked like he was going to get stoned right there, and he bounced off and nearly got the first down. Roquan Smith finally stopped him. What we think is short, but we'll wait and see.
Yeah, there was just enough. I thought if Snell would have taken that right up in there right away, he had a chance. He was actually giving the defense a little bit too much credit. Reggie Carter got just enough penetration to slow that thing down, and then was cleaned up.
Looked like it was about the length of the football short, and it's about what it is.
Yeah, what do you do? What do you do if you're Mark Stoops?
We're about to find out. I don't see the offense moving very far, except coming back to the line of scrimmage. So on 4th down this year, Kentucky's 3 out of 5 on their 4th down conversions. From their own 49-yard line.
I'd be surprised if you just don't go quarterback sneak and push from behind. This is where the quarterback gets hit from behind from his own team.
Johnson under center. There's what Gary called, and it's an easy first down on the sneak, and he's still on his feet, actually. Got to the 48, inside the 48-yard line.
You know, nowadays, when you're allowed to push that runner forward, it seems to be a new technique. You put the H-back and the tailback, and if it's stopped at all, you get one more shove forward from your tailback. For me, that would have been Billy Sims or Ernest Biner. That would have hurt.
Definitely. But they pick up the 4th down and continue the drive into Georgia territory now. Snell bounces off the first guy. Let's check in with Allie.
Brad and Gary, you mentioned Benny Snell's uncle. Well, his dad was also a running back, and I said, out of all 3 of you, who's the best? And he said, well, clearly I am, with all the confidence in the world. He also said he watched a lot of film on his father, and he taught him how to be patient. He said during his highlights he was a very patient runner, and that's something he tries to take away from him.
Benny Sr., drafted by the Ravens, played in NFL Europe and in the XFL. Benny's dad. And he's in the Wildcat again on 2nd down and 5. Again, Johnson goes in motion. Snell goes off the right tackle for about a yard.
Right, those yards are coming tough now. You know that Georgia defense has heard that they have to stop the run from inside out, or they're not going to be able to get to rush the passer. Everybody saw on tape what happened to them a week ago, and they have to be challenged that they have to stop the run between the tackles.
They couldn't stop Kerryon Johnson last week. Now they're looking to stop the Wildcats on 3rd down and 5. At the 43. Johnson, pocket collapsing, throws, deep sideline, incomplete. Intended for Charles Walker, and it'll be 4th down again. Malik Herring got a hit on Johnson after he let go of the ball.
And I think it was Herring's hit that really saved a touchdown on this one. If Herring doesn't put the pressure on Johnson on this play, you're going to get the wheel route for a touchdown. Watch this. Just enough of a pick that's going to be at least down to the 10-yard line, but just enough pressure by Herring to force a throw where Johnson had to pick a spot to get rid of it.
So this time they'll punt on 4th down. Hampton's end-over-end kick drops at the 5.
That's not a good job. I think that ball went into the end.
Well, they're going to spot it out.
I thought
the
ball, I thought it crossed the plane. I guess it did not.
Well, now they're changing their mind, aren't they?
Yeah, I thought, you got to, obviously in college football, you don't have to go into the end zone, but Zach Johnson gets into the end zone too far, and obviously the ball crosses. If he's up a half yard, Kentucky's going to stop that ball inside the 5, and it's a great punt. That's a missed opportunity on special teams for Kentucky.
And we talked yesterday with Sony Michel and Nick Chubb about Miami and the success Mark Richter's had, and they both had huge smiles on their face. They, of course, played for him for 2 years before Kirby Smart. But here's what's on the line for Georgia. They know if they win this game today and then they beat Georgia Tech, they'll play in the SEC championship game against either Auburn or Alabama, win that, and they're going to move into that top 4 somewhere.
I think you summarized that perfectly.
Thank you.
Don't have to say a word.
1st and 10 for the Dogs, and it is Sony Michel looking for a crease and not finding one.
Well, I tell you, that Kentucky defense, Mark Stoops has to be thrilled with the way they're playing so far in this football game. Matt House, defensive coordinator, he knew. I talked to him on Thursday, Friday, something like that, and he knew what he was in for. He looked at this Georgia team and he said, listen, the way Auburn stopped them, they're going to emphasize physical football, and if we can't play physical, we're going to get embarrassed. And he challenged his team, and so far they've answered.
From play action on 2nd and 8, has all day to throw, fires wide open in the middle of the field. Javon Wims. Wims slips away from a couple of tacklers and is inside the 40.
Well, if you could pick up the blitz, and this time it's your center, Lamont Gilliard again, number 53. Watch him pick up the blitzing linebacker. Does a great job on Jordan Jones, and that allows the quarterback, when you blitz, it creates open space.
Georgia goes with a little tempo now after picking up that 21-yard gain. We're back to Sony Michel. And Michel's got it to the 48.
I think it's Chubb that's down on this one, isn't it, in the backfield?
No, I think it's one of the linemen.
Oh, it is. It's right tackle, isn't it? Right tackle Andrew Thomas.
A freshman, 320-pounder out of Lithonia, Georgia.
Oh, no, it isn't. It's left tackle. I'm
sorry. It's Isaiah
77. One of their key football players.
He has really been a mainstay for Georgia on their offensive front. He's one of the smaller left tackles probably you're going to find in college football. He's only 6'2", 302-pounder, but he's one of their leaders.
Played left guard. Well, here he is right here playing left tackle. Everything looks a little bit normal. I guess
and
not.
He pulls up right there.
Exactly. Looked like a routine play.
Whoa. Need a couple stronger guys to help him up. He looks a little better walking off than he did when we first saw the replay. There's another look.
Yeah, you could see mid-block he felt a twinge in his left shoulder and right away went down.
And that means Dashawn Sims will be in there to take his spot. Georgia with a 2nd and 4. Nick Chubb behind Jake Fromm. Chubb powers his way into Kentucky territory.
Well, how about that? You switch tackles and then you run right at him. Okay, let's see what you got. Put you in the game, and then you go, all right, I'm going to run right at the tackle. Let's see, he's fresh. We know that for sure. And Sims makes a good block and gets the first down.
Georgia back in Kentucky territory with 5:40 remaining in the half.
Sims had been one of the players that Georgia had been playing at right guard this year, one of 3.
Fromm Scans the field, fires. Boy, nice throw to Godwin. Terry Godwin with another first down.
Well, listen, when you're committing that many people to stop the run, when you're challenging your secondary to help on those runs, that means that if you run those crossing routes, you should have players open, and a perfect throw that time from Jake Fromm.
First down at the 27. Play action. Fromm throws deep. Touchdown, Georgia. Javon Wims.
Touchdown, Georgia.
What a beautiful route by Wims on Derek Beatty. You stack it right here and watch him go outside technique, and then the double post takes the safety away, and you got a touchdown. What a route. Very patient, good throw, but you get those receivers to pressure outside from those short stances, you've got a chance.
Blankenship's extra point. Up and good. So Georgia goes on an 80-yard drive in 6 plays, back-to-back pure throws from the freshman Jake Fromm. This one, a 27-yard strike. Wims' 5th touchdown catch of the year, and the Dogs stretch their lead.
At Outback, Big Australia is back. Our biggest sirloin, our biggest bloom, our biggest entrees ever. Outback Steakhouse, Aussie rules. And now get a free $10 bonus card with every $50 in gift cards.
Try Degree Ultra Clear Black Plus White. Saves your white clothes from yellow stains and black clothes from white marks. Still with 48-hour sweat protection. Try Degree Ultra Clear Black Plus White. It won't let you down. CBS this Thursday.
Look at this team. Look at us. We are the change that counts.
The new drama, SWAT, CBS Thursday.
Javon Wims' 5th touchdown catch matches Terry Godwin's 5 touchdown catches on the year. Jim Chaney, the offensive coordinator.
Yeah, and the questions we asked him after what happened against Auburn, do you have to change it up a bit? 1st and 10, drop back pass. They're going double post. The young quarterback reads the safety. Whichever one the safety goes, you throw to the other one. It's really not that hard, right?
And for Jake Fromm, that was his 17th touchdown throw of the year. That's a freshman record that he just passed the guy that's his backup now, Jacob Eason, in that category. David Martin to kick. It'll go to about the 1 to number 1, Bowden. Bowden pops it outside, and he's all the way out across the 30-yard line. Yeah, we 4:48 away from the Geico halftime report. Zook and Christian and BJ will be along, scores and highlights of all the games earlier. We'll talk about this first half as well. It's all on the Geico halftime report in about 5 minutes. Georgia fans looking for win number 10 on the year. And now they've got a 14-6 lead. See if Kentucky can score prior to halftime. Empty backfield for Johnson. Throws batted down at the line of scrimmage. I think it was David Marshall.
That pass is broken up by number 51, David Marshall.
Yeah, you're getting pushed out of the pass rush. The last chance you have is to throw that paw up, and maybe you'll make a deflection, and he did. Plenty of time, obviously, for Kentucky here. And remember, they get the ball to start the second half.
Still have 2 timeouts as well. Johnson's going to throw it to Bowden, and that is beautifully played by Roquan Smith.
You want to know how to play linebacker and why you're considered an All-American candidate? Watch number 3 read this play and react to it as fast as he can. Little motion, he sees it, it's not a run, and he hits it in full stride. That's the way you play linebacker.
Roquan is a Butkus semifinalist and a Nagurski finalist in the Final 5. Georgia's leading tackler pretty much every game. 3rd and 10.
Pressure coming off the slot right here.
There they come. And it gets to Smith, and it's Roquan. Dumping
blitz.
Johnson.
Same blitz that was used last week that gave Auburn trouble in the first half, but they made Georgia pay in the second half. Was dialed up, and on third down here, you get pressure inside, and you got those big guys coming inside, and the other guys coming from the outside. Nowhere to go because big Lorenzo Carter said, you ain't throwing this one.
Matt Panton to punt. So be fielded at the 29 by Hardman. Miko Hardman gets it back to about the 49. We told you he may not be a starter, but he can make things happen, and he did on that punt return.
Well, he was so upset with himself last week. And if you remember, Kirby Smart went right over to him and said, Miko, there's going to be another play that you're going to make for us. Might not be this week, but as you can see, that guy's a game breaker.
So now Georgia's got a chance to score more before halftime.
And they've got their offensive tackle, Isaiah Wynn, back in the football game. That's good news for Georgia.
After the punt return, they start at their own 49-yard line. Hardman and Godwin to the bottom of your screen. Swift in the slot up top. Brian Harrion empties the backfield for Jake Fromm. Fromm throws sideline. What a catch by Wims.
Nice route, nice catch, nice protection. Again, remember, Wims just went deep. It's just not that hard of a game. It's like checkers. You go deep one time, you go short the next time. What a pass route to the outside. A guy that, Wims, that did not have a lot of experience as a high school football player, who was really a basketball player, is really coming on.
He had 5 catches for 90 yards in this game a year ago. He had 96 on 3 catches last week, and every week he gets better.
Sure does.
Right now, 6 for 53 on that touchdown the last time they had it. Play action. Fromm fires, same spot. Back shoulder for Wims. He pulled it in. He says he got his toes down.
Well, he caught it, I'll tell you that. And we're going to find out if he had his toes in or not. Another great back shoulder throw.
Ooh, that was close.
Really was. Did the ball bounce at all? Let's make sure he's controlling the football. He's got it. His toes are down.
Running on the field is an incomplete pass. The previous play is under further review.
I think they're going to give him this one, don't you?
I'm telling
we were
you.
wrong already once, right?
Yep.
But I think his toes are down. Remember, the ball can touch the ground as long as you're controlling it. He has the catch. He brings it in. You know, that's to the eye of the replay official, right?
Yep.
One replay official could say, I think the ground helped him here. The other could say, no, he caught it.
What a beautiful picture right there, though. I mean, you talk about concentration and keeping those toes down. He's made some brilliant catches this year. Terry Godwin made one in the Notre Dame game that's one for the ages, and then Wims came back, and he's made about 3 himself this year.
I'd have to give him that one. I have to be honest. His left toe is down. He controls it. I think he's got a catch and his left toe in play.
If it's not a catch, it's one of the great efforts of the year. But it's going to come down to Doyle Jackson letting Hubert Owens know what he thinks.
Well, let's see if we can do it right there. He's got his toes down. He's got the catch. There's his toes. There's the ball.
Look at you with that technology moving that screen. I love that.
It's taken me 10 weeks to get it down.
Here's the call.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. Incomplete pass.
So we're 0 for 2.
Somebody doesn't like us. That's 0 for 2. I haven't ever been 0 for 2.
It's the first time for everything.
I thought, wow. I thought this was actually a better catch than the last one.
I did too.
Man, I did all that great technology and all that.
All for nothing.
I hope the replay booth saw that great technology. He said, I was good, the catch wasn't. That's what we just heard.
That's what it was. So it's 2nd down and 10. Swift with Fromm in the backfield. He's going to get a little draw play. DeAndre Swift. And a nice job by Kentucky to contain him. And it's Edwards coming off being shaken up earlier in the half that made the tackle again.
But one of the things that Matt House, the defensive coordinator, said about the Georgia offense is with their tight formations and the way they use their running backs with the toss sweeps, they force your secondary to make tackles. And so far, the Kentucky secondary has been willing in the running game. You really can't turn them down. They're coming at you.
Edwards came in as their leading tackler with 80, and he's had several in the first half again today. 3rd down at 6. And whistle stop play. Kentucky took a timeout.
Timeout. Kentucky.
So a big 3rd down for both teams when we come back to Athens after this. Almost looks like we were at a 2-minute warning, doesn't it? That just happens to be 2 minutes remaining.
Yeah.
This is after the timeout, and the umpire's going to take one in the noggin.
Oh.
Big Fromm said, "I'm sorry, man.
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me.
I was just getting rid of the football."
My bad.
Let's see if Jake can find a Georgia receiver instead of the umpire on 3rd and 6.
And the official might have said, "Jake, you've been pretty accurate today. I'm not so sure that was by accident."
Draw play to Sony Michel. And Sony's got a 1st down and a bunch more. Like a touchdown. Sony's saying, "I got to get in the act. My buddy Nick had one in the first quarter. Let me take 137 yards to the house myself."
I'll tell you, to the outside, underrated block by Riley Ridley, number 8, to do it. But one of the things when you talk to defensive coordinators around the league, he said that when you watch Georgia play, you see the smallest cracks, and these guys making big plays, and that was a perfect example right there.
Blankenship for the point after. Up and good. Well, we said after Mecole Hardman had the punt return to get it to the 49 that Georgia had a chance to score. They certainly took advantage of it. 1 minute and 27 seconds. 51 yards for the senior. 37-yard touchdown, Sony Michel. Early in the game, Nick Chubb got his 40th rushing touchdown. His roommate and best friend, Sony Michel, just scored his 27th rushing touchdown for the Dogs. So fun to be around those two.
Yeah, it was. We visited them a number of times. You know, when Vern and I were doing it, I'm sure you did it with Todd. They walk into a room and own it, don't they?
They really do. One's a little more talkative than the other, that's for sure. You talk about career lists for these guys. When you have somebody like Herschel Walker around, when you make lists, that's pretty good company. And Nick's number 2, and Sony's closing the gap on Garrison Hurst and Todd Gurley. That's good company, man.
Yeah. And funny, they were completely opposite. You know, Sony Michel was the 5-star guy.
Right.
He was the guy expected to play early in his career. He got nicked early and allowed Chubb to get the start.
And he said, "You know what? I don't think I was ready for it," but Nick was.
It all turned out to be fate.
The guy from small town Georgia over the 5-star recruit from Miami, and now you can't see one without seeing the other. Sometimes not in the same backfield, but when they're together on campus. Johnson, flag down, probably going to be a hold, and Roquan Smith's going to take Steven Johnson and ditch him just in case.
Hey, you better be careful, Roquan. They're going to need you. You don't want to get thrown out of this football game because next football game is triple option. And we talked to him yesterday about that, and he said, no.
Personal foul, face mask. Defense, number 15. 15 yards added to the end of the run. 1st down.
So that was on DeAndre Walker in the backfield. Not a holding call, but a defensive face mask penalty.
It must have been his hand to the face mask on the pass rush. But we're talking about Roquan Smith about this game. He said, well, play well because next game you're going to get the triple option. Oh, yeah, he grabbed it and pulled him down. That's what it was. It wasn't a hand going up. He actually yanked him down. Watch that.
Oh, right there.
Yes.
And it gives Kentucky life at the 43. Incomplete, and a nice throw down to Taven Richardson. Kentucky trying to answer right back here.
I don't know if you can really feel what it's like watching a game when a quarterback trusts his offensive line and works his way up in the pocket and hits those crossing routes. They're deadly.
Johnson, quick throw to the outside, this time down around the 35. K'Wan Ross made the catch. DeAndre Baker brought him down, but Kentucky plenty of time here. Less than a minute now, but still have a timeout left. At the Georgia 35, second down and 6. Throw complete again, but what a hit, Juice Johnson. And that's Aaron Davis, another one of the seniors and a captain today.
Kentucky's going to take their last timeout. It's a smart one because they did not get the first down. Aaron Davis, that's the way that they were talking about that secondary needed to tackle right there.
Being a location scout, my office is on my back. The less stuff I have to carry, the better. With Service Pro, I have one device that does everything. Technology has really changed how I do this job. On Pacific Rim Uprising, our characters are 250 feet tall. Where in the heck are you going to land this big robot? Pulled up a satellite image, and there is like a giant bullseye. Robots here. I feel very proud of what I bring to the screen. I have the greatest job in the world.
38 seconds. They're down and 2 coming up. No timeouts left for the Wildcats.
Yeah, not a really pressure situation, I think, for time-wise, at least for Kentucky. If they do not make the first down, let's suppose it's a small sack, plenty of time to get your field goal team out there. If you get a first down, you can either have 2 plays in huddle or go out and spike the ball.
They're already in their field goal kicker's range. But they would love a touchdown here before the break. Johnson lofts it far sideline, just off the fingertips of Benny Snell. Put it right where he had to put it.
And he had Lynn Bowden wide open for the first down. Now I could say, yes, he's got a good matchup there, and a good throw's a big play. But for the first down, Lynn Bowden, number 1, who goes in motion, watch him. Easy first down right there. Take it. You go for the big play, sometimes you don't hit it.
Now they're going to go for a big play. They're not going to kick a field goal.
Yeah.
So it's 4th down and 2. Georgia brings extra men up on the line of scrimmage. Johnson to throw. And was it bobbled?
Dropped it.
They did. Georgia takes over. Taven Richardson.
Had him wide open. Richardson had to slow down for it, but should have made that catch, and it would have been a big first down with plenty of time. Got to catch that one.
Got his feet kind of tangled up in the turf or something.
You know, I thought Taven, the ball was not thrown as hard as he thought. It was almost like a changeup, and he kept trying to move and wait for the ball to get there, and then didn't handle it. Johnson throws the ball. He had pressure in his face, and he did not get all he wanted on the throw. But again, that's when you got to help out the offense and make that play.
And Georgia is not going to mess around here. Going to take a knee. Kentucky can't stop it, so Georgia's going to the locker room with a 21-6 lead in their final home game. They're halfway to their 10th win of the season. End of the half, Georgia up 21-6. For Allie's halftime interview with Coach Smart, go to Twitter at SEC on CBS. And right now we leave Athens between the hedges to go to New York, and Adam Zucker. Zook.
Chubb cuts behind the blocker, gets into the end zone, touchdown. Dive for the pylon, touchdown, Sony Michel.
Set to start the third quarter at Sanford Stadium between the hedges, and 7th-ranked Georgia with a 21-6 lead on the Wildcats of Kentucky. Second quarter touchdowns by Sony Michel and a touchdown throw, Jake Fromm, to Javon Wims. Stretched out what was a 7-6 game for quite a while. And Kentucky will get the ball first to start the second half. Rodrigo Blankenship going to tee it up for Georgia. Their final home game of the season. Georgia plays at Georgia Tech next week. Bowden back waiting on the kick. And it won't be returnable, so they'll bring it out to the 25. And we bring you inside the booth. Brad Nessler, Gary Danielson. Kind of what we saw from Georgia the first 9 weeks of the season. Nick Chubb, Sony Michel, and then play action for Jake Fromm.
Yeah, and I think if you look 21-6 now in this game, Georgia in control now. I think for Georgia, they look up there and they say, we've controlled the running game.
Right.
Benny Snell rushed for 33 yards. The last 3 games, he was, 180, 176, 113. Well, this team is not Tennessee, Vandy, and Ole Miss. This is a better defensive team, and I don't see if Kentucky doesn't run the ball a little better, I don't know if they can protect Johnson enough. One thing I know for sure, Kentucky better score next.
They've got the opportunity to open the third quarter. And they're going to try to get Benny Snell involved, and he got a nice stiff arm out on the corner and picked up 8 as we check in with Allie.
Brad, I talked to both coaches at the half, and Coach Smart said that those last 3 minutes were crucial and just getting the crowd involved, getting some energy. He said when we're going fast, we are a lot better, but he was very unhappy with the penalties. Also, Coach Stoops said that they have to get back to playing fundamentally sound football. He said he was really unhappy with the drops offensively. It's going to be very important for them to get some points on the board early in the second half.
Well, if Kirby wasn't happy with the penalties, he's not going to be happy with the one they just called. I didn't see the flag, but it's all the way out to the 48-yard line after they walked it off.
Yeah, I thought it was another face mask again. DeAndre Baker, number 18, yes, right at the end of the play.
Georgia thinking about a blitz off the corner. Snell up inside, dragging some tacklers with him. Take a look at the first half trends in this game. Kind of talked about them. Sony Michel and Nick Chubb both getting in the act with touchdowns in their final game in Athens. Jake Fromm, a touchdown throw. Some good other throws to both Godwin and Wims. And as Gary said, Snell's been held in check so far. That last run was a good one for him, though. Tough 5-yarder to bring up 2nd down and 5 in Georgia territory.
Yeah, back-to-back good runs. One of them tagged with a personal foul. I think Kentucky's only path is establish the run first, then throw the ball.
Here comes the throw. If he can get it off, he's going to have to keep it now. Tucks it. And wow, took a big shot, but he got a first down.
I'll tell you, the players on this team and the fans of Kentucky love this guy, Steve Johnson. You know, he had that great last-second touchdown against Tennessee on a run similar to this.
Yeah.
Into the end zone. Yep, just like this when he had that hurt shoulder and he came back out of the locker room to win that football game. That's what can electrify your football team right there.
Got him a first down at the 40. Now he wants to go back to the air. Down the middle, great catch by Richardson. And another first down, Kentucky. Moving right down the field.
When if Parrish doesn't lay out to make this tackle, this could have gone all the way. It was a little bit of a stutter in the middle of the field. And the guy, Taven Richardson, who dropped one, didn't drop that one.
This is exactly what the doctor ordered for Kentucky on their opening drive of the third quarter. As Gary said, they better score first in this half, and they're getting close. The Kentucky Verizon red zone offense, 21 touchdowns on 35 trips. They're at it right now with a second down right at the 20. Snell empties the backfield. Johnson looks his way and then throws in the middle to the tight end, C.J. Conrad. He's down inside the 15. He was a big weapon for Kentucky earlier in the season, and then they sort of got away from him. And now,
I think he pulled a hamstring there, didn't he?
Yeah, it looked like it.
It's one of that formation again, that unbalanced formation that they've thrown those bubble screens, and this time they throw a tight end middle screen to it. Conrad, who went actually 3 games in the middle of the season where he didn't catch a pass, has been a weapon lately, especially Ole Miss. But now let's see what happened.
Got his ankles tangled up too. Looked like he was holding his hamstring, and it still does. On the 24-hour home of CBS Sports, Rich Waltz, Aaron Murray, Cassie McKinney will bring it to you. Aaron, former Georgia Bulldog, who owns virtually every dog passing record here in Athens. Got the shoe off.
Yeah, Lorenzo Carter, number 7. Watch Conrad fall awkwardly. Gets his leg kind of caught underneath the tackle. Mark Stoops, as this 3rd down play is called, has to be thinking, what do I do? Do I go 4 down or do I just kick a field goal? It's early. He'll have to judge the yardage first.
And again, they're in the Wildcat.
Has not worked for him, has it?
Not really. Benny Snell, Georgia thinking about a run blitz. And here they come with it. Snell cuts outside, puts his hand on his blockers, puts his head down, and heads to the end zone. Didn't quite get there, but that's his best run of the day.
Totally. Well, it didn't work inside, but this time Benny Snell did a great job of bouncing it outside. Following his blocker around the corner, Raquan Smith gets blocked. Raquan Smith gets blocked by Punchy Stallings that time, and Stallings does a nice job cleaning it up for that big run.
And there's how close they are to the Georgia goal line.
Yeah.
Snell stays in there after that 12-yard pickup in the Wildcat. He got him close. He got him in. Touchdown, Kentucky.
What a drive.
You said they had to score first this half, and they have.
75 yards, and again, the penalty got them started. Got them out into a comfortable spot, and then they just went from there. And remember that one quarterback run by Steven Johnson. I think that lit this team up, but enough up front, especially up front from Drake Jackson, the center. And that was one of the key moves that this Kentucky team made, was putting Drake in at center and moving Stallings back to right guard.
McInnes, extra point is good.
Well, if you're going to do it, you got to mix it up. And this time Eddie Grand did it. Came up with that unbalanced line with the delay to the tight end. That did it one way. And then we're questioning whether they should go Wildcat. I think they should go Wildcat. I've been wrong on a lot of stuff today.
I think they should give it to Benny Snell for his 16th score of the year, 21-13. The first Saturday of December at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, they can put it up there. But right now they're worried about Kentucky because it's a one-possession game.
You know, and you can make the argument if they don't drop the pass at the end of the second quarter, it's less than that.
Nico Hardman from the 5. Hardman fires past everybody out to the 40.
You talk about no fear. This guy is running a sprint.
35-yard kick return.
Watch this guy trust his blocking. Man.
You know, he was a little used defensive back until this spring, and they said, maybe he can help us on offense and special teams. I think so.
Well, and that gives you the field position now where Georgia's offensive coordinator, Jim Chaney, who goes, all right, I got my whole playbook again to call. I trust Jake Fromm. He's 8 for 12. He's been making every pass.
He's under center with Nick Chubb behind him on first down, and it's Chubb. Broke one tackle, cuts outside. Nick Chubb across midfield. Chubb's all the way to the 40-yard line.
Well, Josh Allen missed the tackle. He had Chubb cold. Watch number 41 get up and whiff it. Once he whiffs it, that allows Chubb to make a big play. That should have been stopped for no game. That's the second time in this game Nick Chubb has made one of those dirty runs where you just go, well, that one didn't look like much to start, and he finished it.
That was a dirty 21-yarder. And gets Georgia to the 39 of Kentucky. Swift on a jet sweep trying to get to the corner. Blazevich got a block for him, and he's got a first down, pick up the 13.
He sure did. You called it. Jeb Blazevich, number 83, another one of those seniors, locks on and doesn't hold. That's the tough part of these. When you're out here, number 83, you got the end man on the line of scrimmage. You got Charlie Werner, number 89, getting to the second level, but the toughest block is Blazevich's, and he gets the edge and allows Swift to get the corner.
Georgia trying to come right back down the field and answer the Kentucky touchdown. They've got it at the Cat 25. Oh, little bobble, but Chubb got the handoff. And he made something out of nothing. That could have been a fumble, but Jake got it in his gut. And Nick Chubb goes for 6 yards.
Yeah, I always get a little nervous on these motions from the wide receiver. That time, Crumpton, number 16, is going in motion. And if it's not, well, it's real pretty when it's timed out well. But I think the motion bothered the quarterback that time and he missed it, took his eye off it.
Georgia moves just inside the Kentucky 20.
It's a great answer drive here by Georgia.
Kentucky brings a blitz. Nick Chubb's going to try to run through it all and does, down to the 10 or very close.
Well, I tell you, this offensive line that was stymied a week ago is answering now. Running towards number 74, the change, Ben Cleveland. He gets a great block along with freshman Andrew Thomas. Those two open the hole, and Chubb says, thank you very much. I get into the secondary. I love it when the first guy I meet has a 7 number from the secondary.
Cleveland got a pancake there. You wanted to give away awards, didn't you, to the offensive line?
Right. I think that they've got to have that's the next innovation. You watch.
And that's Sonny Michel. Under the 9-minute mark.
I mean, think about it. Those offensive players have got to be dying every week.
Last week, everybody talking about the Tigers being in the hunt and controlling their own destiny. And just a dream sequence. Take you back like 3 weeks ago and somebody said,
here's a few teams to keep an eye on, okay?
You got Auburn in there.
Well, you know, you were supposed to give me time to get there.
Well, I'm just going straight to the right.
We practiced this, I thought, okay? Let me just ask you a question then, smarty pants. If Auburn wins out and they beat this Georgia team
and Alabama
and come back probably and beat Georgia again and are the SEC champs, you telling me the committee has enough guts not to put them in the playoff?
That was October 28th. That was my partner. And here you are being correct.
Right. Correct about that, wrong about every replay of the game so far.
You're 0 for about 3 on those,
exactly.
But that was pretty good. And, of course, Georgia trying to...
Seemed to be a few more people saying Auburn's alive now.
Yeah, exactly.
That was prior to that Georgia game, right?
Georgia would like to play Auburn again. They know they're going to play Auburn or Alabama. They'd like to get some payback from a week ago, but right now they have the lead on Kentucky as they look for their 10th win of the year.
See, Brett, well, you committee, okay? I've toned it down, okay? This was the second playoff formula right there. Those were the top 10 teams, and of course a couple of teams got knocked out. It was rearranged with Georgia still in the top 10 even though they lost the game, but now Alabama, and I think the top 7 for sure. The top 7 control their fate. If they win out, they're going to be one of the 4 teams. I think there's one more team that has a chance, barring complete chaos.
I'm going to ask you who that is in a second. Play action, Johnson down the middle. Good throw and catch. Yeah, okay, who's the other team?
I think the last team that has a chance to get in there with just a little bit is Ohio State. If they beat Michigan and Wisconsin, okay, if Alabama wins out and if Oklahoma loses in the Big 12 championship, I think Ohio State is going to get it in again, and they're the luckiest team I've ever seen in my life.
Didn't they get smacked around in Iowa, though, at Kinnick Stadium? Come on.
But I tell you what, though, they're going to be the Big Ten champs, and there's going to be other teams that, who do you do? What do you do?
Food for thought. Here's King in the Wildcat. Got about 3. Roquan Smith made another tackle for Georgia.
I mean, I'd say who gets in if that scenario happens, because they will beat Wisconsin to get there. Remember, Wisconsin team. They will beat Michigan, Wisconsin the last 2 weeks. Now, the key, I think, for Ohio State, ironically, is Alabama has to win out. Because if Alabama doesn't win out, if they lose next week, Alabama could be sitting there with a path over Ohio State.
Do you ever sleep at night? Thinking up these scenarios?
That's true.
Little shake and bake by Saheem King. Going to bring up a 3rd down, though. DeAndre Baker made the stop.
Well, let's see if Kentucky can gear back up. I mean, there's nobody tougher than the Stoops brothers, right? I mean, coming out of Youngstown, all of them. Bobby, Mike, and Mark and his football team has answered at the start. They need to answer again, because it can get demoralizing when a team goes 6 plays, 60 yards without throwing the ball.
3rd down and 4. Need to get to the 47 of Georgia for a 1st down. Walker, the motion man, to and from the top of your screen. Johnson waits too long. The ball is out. Kentucky, I think, covered it. But Georgia finally gets to the Kentucky quarterback, and he's still down.
Well, DeAndre Walker that time, number 15, came around the corner with a blur. Made the play, and that's what forced the fumble. He beat Asafo Adjei that time, and that tight corner was what caused the fumble.
Johnson shaken up on the play. And now punting situation for Matt Panton.
That's the one thing that Georgia was never able to do to Auburn. Get them in that situation where their pass rushers could make a difference.
Perry Godwin back deep for Georgia. Going to field it around the 14 with a fair catch. And that's where the Dogs go back to work as their defense does its job. Georgia with the sack and the forced fumble, forcing the punt. The Dogs have it back on offense when we come back.
You look at Steven Johnson, Brad. We did that game last year. That was the game, I think, that really began the beginning of the perhaps end for Brett Bielema. Had that big lead, and then the bowl game
and then the Virginia Tech bowl game, they lost a big lead. And
if he wins if he wins those two games,
they would have been 9 wins.
I think.
And today they lost in the first game that we had for you today to Mississippi State.
Well, can they force Georgia to throw the ball when Kentucky wants them to throw the ball, not when Georgia wants to throw the ball?
That depends on Nick Chubb. And that's what Nick Chubb does pretty well. Make maybe the line of scrimmage gain into 4. You were talking about those offensive linemen and the Pancake Award, and our colleague Aaron Taylor just reminded me Georgia's offensive line was a midseason honor rollee for the Joe Moore Award, which goes to the most outstanding offensive line in the country. So,
and I think last year's offensive line for Kentucky was a semifinalist with their great center Joe Toth.
Georgia's offensive line coach Sam Pittman, and when he was at Arkansas, their unit was up for that, a finalist in 2015. So AT's watching someplace, giving us good,
Didn't that Ward isn't that AT's college coach, his offensive line coach, I think, was Joe Moore.
That's right. Yep. Here, 3rd down and 4. Let's see if Georgia's big eaters up front can either protect Jake Fromm or move the pile.
Here's the opportunity. They worked hard to get it into a passing situation. The only thing that could be here is, remember, the last time in this situation they went quarterback draw.
And he's got Sonny Michel, who knows how to find a little crease if they give it to him. Fromm waits and throws, and a nice defensive play at the last second by Lonnie Johnson out there on the corner.
Well, Lonnie Johnson has earned the starting job, beat out Chris Westry, number 21, the corner who had been starting since a true freshman. Johnson's come in, the junior college player, and has earned that spot. Got beat for a tough touchdown at the end of that Ole Miss game when he had perfect coverage. But otherwise, he's been pretty good and pretty sound with his coverage.
Punting situation for Nizilik. Walker waits on it and takes it in at the 35-yard line with just over 4 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter. Confident on the field and in the classroom. Here's today's Scholar Athletes, presented by Quicken Loans. Austin McInnes, the kicker for Kentucky, and Cameron Nizilik, who luckily came back after being roughed up in the 1st quarter, the punter for Georgia. Quicken Loans' commitment to the University of our future is shown by donating $1,000 to Kentucky and Georgia's General Scholarship Fund. Congratulations to those 2 young men. So Kentucky's defense did what it had to do, and now their offense at the 35-yard line, trailing by 15.
And they reestablished the running game. I really think that's a big part of this football game for Kentucky to get back in it.
And that's been Benny Snell for the most part. And here's some more of Benny Snell following his blockers. Looks like could have been almost another face mask. He had to adjust his helmet there and got the corner before he's knocked out of bounds. Allie?
Guys, after the last series, Steven Johnson was shaken up. They did check him for whiplash and say he was okay to go back in. Also, C.J. Conrad is limping his way back onto the field. He went to the locker room to get x-rays on his left foot. He still can barely put weight on it, and he's in a boot right now.
Oh, yeah, he's not coming back anytime soon. It's too bad. He's still cheering on the sideline, though, for the guys that are out there. 2nd and 3. Snell got popped and spins for a first down.
You know, that's Georgia, I think, 26th rush attempt, no, 27th rush attempt in the football game. They still have not rushed for 100 yards in the game. You know, they struggled a little bit running the ball against Florida and Mississippi State, two other tough rush defenses. They've been more successful against the teams everybody runs the ball against. Missouri, Tennessee, Ole Miss, and Vandy. That's where they had their big ones. They have no other path. They need to help the protection with the run game.
Bowden and the Wildcat, again, they run the quarterback across. Bowden can throw, and he is going to zip it as far as he can into coverage. And Georgia's got it. Intercepted by Aaron Davis.
Well, it's one-on-one. Garrett Johnson, with Aaron Davis. He really wasn't open, but remember, this is a true freshman wildcat slot receiver, and he just lets it go. And he's hoping that he can get one of those catches, a 50-50 ball, and this time Georgia won the 50-50 ball.
Senior grad student, and he's got the Spike Award over there on the sideline. Captain today out of Locust Grove, Georgia. Big play, big turnover.
Let it go. Try to get it. They called the pass, Coach. I threw it. You called it.
And here's Nick Chubb, almost to the secondary, flips close to a first down.
Well, this is one of those, when you've got a wildcat, true freshman guy in there, you're hoping that you can just get an incompletion out of it. And Johnson tried to knock it down, but he couldn't do it.
And there comes the pads and the spikes.
Yep. That's what I said. The offense needs one of those. A coach is going to come up with this idea so that the offensive guys can have some fun too.
I think real pancakes is good, though, not golden painted.
Oh, there you go.
Second and a yard. Nick Chubb gets the yard and about 4 more. The first down, Georgia, 28-13 here. Zook's got an update in New York.
I sure do, Ness. Kansas State pulling the surprise of the afternoon in Stillwater. Third-string freshman QB Skylar Thompson. It's his second start, doesn't look like it. Byron Pringle, 3 receiving touchdowns and a kick return. Cowboys at risk of dropping into a 4-way tie for third by the end of the day in the Big 12.
Wow. So Georgia with a first down at the 25. Sonny Michel back in the Georgia backfield. They fake it to him from rolling to throw, and now might roll to run. Oh, took a big hit, but he got about 3 yards and a flag's down.
Holding. Offense. Number 71. 10-yard penalty. Still first down.
Andrew Thomas, the freshman tackle. Here's the hit that Jake Fromm takes at the end of this play.
Yeah, he needs to learn to get down. He's got a lot of big games coming up here that, the Georgia Tech game will be theoretically one of those games that they need him on, and you've got to know when to risk it on those plays, and that would have been one to slide.
You got to do a Kenny Rogers. You got to know when to fold him and know when to hold him.
And he didn't on that one.
He didn't fold quick enough.
He went all in, and he shouldn't have.
So it's 1st and 20, back at the 15. Draw play, Sonny Michel. Cuts it up for about 3 and another flag down. Boy, if this is back-to-back holdings, Kirby's going to blow a gasket.
Well, I think it's going to be. The question here is, do you take this one? It'll be a 7-yard penalty.
Penalty is declined.
Right.
Second down.
I think that was the smart play by Mark Stoops. When the ball is lined up on the 15-yard line, you're going to get a 7-yard or 7.5-yard penalty. You might as well take the down.
Final minute of the third quarter. So 2nd and 17. Nick Chubb goes through some tacklers, backpedaling his way all the way to the 30.
And that should have to allow Georgia to take it to the 4th quarter and decide what they're going to do. But again, Nick Chubb put it into a situation that it's possible they can pick this thing up.
As been a workhorse for 4 years. Came back from a devastating knee injury to be the #2 rusher all time. And between those two dudes, they played some pretty marvelous football for 4 years here. And they played pretty good 3 quarters on Senior Day today. The quarter closes in Athens, end of 3. Georgia in front, 28-13. We'll return to Athens, Sanford Stadium after this message and a word from your local station.
At the Nowvember sales event, get $1,000 cash back on a new 2018 RAV4 or RAV4 Hybrid. Or save big with 0% financing for 60 months. Hurry and get these great offers now. We make it easy. Toyota, let's go places.
Game Day on CBS 2 is sponsored by your Southern California Toyota dealers.
August 10, his team up 15 as we start the 4th quarter in Athens. 7th-ranked Bulldogs leading Kentucky. Here between the hedges, final home game of the year for the Dogs. Senior Day has been good to a lot of these guys out here playing their final game at Sanford Stadium. Their freshman quarterback's got a 3rd and 5 and throws into some tight coverage and a 1st down. And Georgia trying to move down for more points. Welcome back. 4th quarter starts. Brad Nessler, Gary Danielson, Nick Chubb, Sony Michel, Jake Fromm. It's following the pattern right now.
Totally. In that 3rd quarter, for the whole game, Kentucky has rushed for 98 yards. In the 3rd quarter, Georgia rushed for 94 yards. That's allowed Fromm to sit back there with the time to pick his throws. Kentucky, when they throw, they're getting the pass rush. You know, you called it a week ago when I asked you, what's the key to the game? Stop the run.
Stop the run, don't let them throw
well,
over the top.
I hate to say it, but it is true, you know.
Nick Chubb has gone over 1,000, and he's heading to the end zone. Touchdown. What a way to hit 1,000 and then hit 45 more later.
Chubb gets a touchdown, and Isaiah Wynn, number 71, gets the pancakes. Watch this guy right here. Left tackle, 77, gets the block to the outside, stays on his block long enough to allow the play, doesn't hold, and unfortunately, it was Josh Allen again who was in the middle of the play.
Blankenship for the point after.
And I think Isaiah can handle some pancakes.
Up and good.
Point after is good. Nick Chubb took it 65 yards for the score.
He lifted up Nick Chubb afterwards, but when your big left tackle gets the block.
And now it's time for our Geico game recap.
Well, it's been a good one here for the seniors. Lorenzo Carter coming out before the game. Guy that could have gone to the NFL a year ago, came back to have one more shot. So Aaron Davis, he's got that ball in hand. He also had this ball in hand. His first interception of the season on Senior Day. Old dogs, new tricks. Yep. And then some other dogs, the dynamic duo of Nick Chubb and Sony Michel. That's Nick's first one in the first half. Here's Sony Michel doing his thing. 83 yards and 2 touchdowns. Chubb just added a 55-yarder a little while ago, and it's been Benny, and his great uncle was a Jet, but Benny Snell's been sensational. He's been the workhorse for Kentucky, but there hasn't been enough help from other skill position players. And then the Wizard of Warner Robins, Houston County High School, Jake Fromm throws a dart to Javon Wims, and Georgia mixing it well. The run, the play action, and then the home run ball right there. Javon Wims, another senior. Good Senior Day, 35-13 right now with 14-17 to go.
If we could get a couple more orders of pancakes, I'll show you why we're going to need them, okay, after this.
You got somebody else other than Wynn?
I think so,
okay.
Yeah. 2 more orders, please, of flapjacks.
The kick will go to the goal line to Lynn Bowden. Bowden got to the 20 and out to the 21.
Watch center Lamont Gilliard and Kendall Baker, number 53 and 65, do a beautiful combo block to the second level, and then you get Chubb going right between them before he bounces out. Watch this. Combos. Fit it, and then come off it, and then split it. Watch him split it, and then bounce out. That is pretty. I bet you Aaron Taylor just texted you again. Look at your phone. You can't do any better than that.
And Nick Chubb, with that carry, goes over 1,000 yards on the season. It's his 23rd career 100-plus game. And 35-13 our score. Snell, nothing.
We're going to have the Cracker Barrel Pancake Award. Right?
That's pretty good company. He's number 2 to Herschel in just about everything.
You see that cut? He split and trusted the hole, and then he saw the safety get cut laterally, and the impressive spot. After that knee injury, turned on the Jets.
Yeah.
Yes, that was a lot. You put that into some tape, and somebody in the NFL is going to say, all right, I'll take a chance on you.
Trying to throw a screen, Johnson, and he throws it in the dirt. That one was read beautifully by Roquan Smith and company, and he really never had any place to go with it. Trenton Thompson was putting the pressure on him. Big Trent will come out and get a breather for a play or two.
Yeah, they're going to put their pass rush unit back in on this one.
I think you heard the PA announcer. 3rd down and 9. They bring a delayed blitz, and they almost got to Johnson. He got away somehow, but he still got leveled at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, Malcolm Parrish comes off that short corner. In college football, when you're on that hash, the near hash corner always is a threat to come from that side, and you can see it. From the right side, he comes late, but flushes Johnson out of the pocket and allows the sack from behind by Walter Graham.
Panton's going to have to punt, and Mecole Hardman is back in as the punt returner for Georgia. He didn't return the last one. Godwin did. This is a knuckleball that he's probably just going to get out of the way of. And it falls dead at the 39-yard line, maybe the 40. So Georgia takes over with a 35-13 lead here in Athens with 12:40.
Bud Light.
Sometime before game's over, we'll have the play of the game presented by Napa Auto Parts. Been some big-time highlights, especially if you're a Georgia fan. I'm assuming that's a Georgia fan. I can't really tell. But I do like the guys that also have the spike look going, the Road Warrior thing.
Does that count as getting on TV? If you're on, but nobody knows it's you?
Well, somebody knows who that guy is.
Yeah, so it's his
buddy.
buddy.
He didn't have the mask on.
Buddy.
Yeah.
Okay. That's Frank, because he knows Timmy. That's Timmy, Frank's buddy right next to him.
Here's the jet sweep to DeAndre Swift. He's got blockers in front, broke a tackle. Swift spins his way into Kentucky territory around the 43-yard line.
Well, Charlie Werner, the H-back on this one, does a nice job going out and fitting to the outside. See the block right there to the outside? That allows Swift to get into open space and show the talent he has.
He's going to be one of the featured backs next year for Georgia when Michelle and Chubb move on. They've got some recruits that are big names, big-time guys coming in as well. But he could be a feature back with a lot of people. They're going to try him again going the other way. And Swift into the open field. Rips off a 17-yard run, and then that one was even better.
Yeah, Blazevich that time from the other side, one of the 3 different tight ends is going to arc block and then come back. How about that? He feels that he has to come back and help inside on Courtney Love. A beautiful job by Blazevich that time.
So Swift back-to-back runs of 17 and 25.
Yeah, and that takes the rushing game for Georgia over 300 yards rushing in a football game.
So now Sonny Michel comes back in. Swift gets a breather. Brian Herring's also in there. They're going to give it to Herring.
Come on, that's not right. 3 straight?
Oh, my goodness. And Herring thinking touchdown.
Now
he's out.
Stepped up. How about that's almost rubbing salt in your wound to run that play 3 straight times.
If it's working?
Yeah, keep calling it.
14 yards for Brian Herring. First time he touched the football as a Georgia player. He went 19 yards for a score, and he almost got one right there.
Well, if you're Georgia right now, you're pretty sure you're going to win this football game against Kentucky. I wonder right now if Jim Chaney is thinking, I want to show Auburn and Alabama and Georgia Tech as they go Wildcat here what else we have.
Sony Michel, direct snap. Sony Michel to the end zone. Touchdown for the third time today. You think the seniors are having fun? Wildcats not so much. Third time number 1 has been in the end zone today as he blasts his way in to cap a 60-yard drive in just 4 plays.
Jeez. That's tough.
That's a Kentucky fan that's sleeping. Blankenship in for the point after. He's going to need to ice his leg down just from extra points. Up and good.
And I think about still in this position, Mark Stoops building this football program. I mean, it's come a long way, you know, but against the big guys, he still hasn't gotten that signature win.
Here, great day for the seniors. You never forget your senior day, but when it's this good, you definitely won't forget it. Nick Chubb, 151-2. Sony Michel, 87-3. Aaron Davis had an interception. And just some of the seniors that are shining here in now the nighttime of Athens, Georgia.
Yeah, and I'm wondering as I watch this, what is the Georgia fan thinking? Okay, they're happy about this game. But what's going through their mind as they watch Georgia run the ball, play a great football game, thinking about what happened to them to Auburn and the fact that they're going to face Auburn or Alabama for the championship?
Well, the thing that took away was any wiggle room they had. Now they just got to keep on winning. Let's check in with Allie.
Guys, a really emotional moment here on the sideline for Georgia as senior Isaiah Wynn sort of took everybody together in the offense, the linemen, the running backs, and he just gave them all a big hug. The whole team was standing up, just telling each other how thankful they were for one another, and it all goes back to what Sony Michel told us when we talked to him this week, and he said, the reason we came back is because we knew we had an opportunity to do great things, but we all just love each other too. It's good guys that have a chance to really do something great. So a feeling of love and admiration on this Georgia sideline.
They're on their way to their 38th win together, which is pretty impressive as well. Sony told us it's just fun to win. You can tell they're having fun on the sideline. Here's Snell.
You know, the thing, talking about Mark Stoops again, Brad, we were there. Remember when Wisconsin made that next step with Barry Alvarez back in 1992? They beat Ohio State.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
That's what I think Mark needs for this Kentucky team. He needs a signature win. I know they beat Louisville. I know they beat South Carolina. But they need that one win to turn it all around. The year after that, when they beat Ohio State, they played in the Rose Bowl.
That's right. Second and 6 for Snell. Broke a tackle. He's still playing hard, isn't he?
Yep.
Man, he's something to build on, that's for sure. He'll come back next year and looking for his 3rd straight 1,000-yard-plus season.
Well, Georgia's got Georgia Tech, obviously, at Georgia Tech next week. Kentucky hosts Louisville, the team they beat at Louisville last year. So games for each team a week from now before the SEC championship for Georgia and before a bowl game for Kentucky.
Funny, that last shot we saw the current and past of Georgia's offense, Chubb and Michel, and then we saw the future in Fromm and Swift, all of them standing together. And Mark Stoops, of course, it all started with his dad, Ron, who was a great high school coach, and then Bob and Mike, both head coaches in college football. And he's in a good spot there compared to some of those guys down. You don't want to be on that red line on the bottom, put it that way.
Now, it was interesting when we talked to Mark about the Kentucky job. I said, are you more convinced now than when you took the job that you're in the right spot and you can make it go? And he said, absolutely, I'm convinced that I can make this thing go. I feel better about what I can do with Kentucky football now than I did the day I took the job, and I was optimistic the day I took the job.
And flag is on Kentucky, and Steven Johnson's going, what did I do?
I think Steven Johnson threw a little hockey at Gordie Howe. Threw a little Gordie Howe at him. Elbow. He got an elbow. He didn't think he'd get seen. But it was just one of those little nudges that the official was standing right there. Watch at the end of this play when he gets back up. It's a... And watch the little nudge right there.
Oh, right on McGee. Yep. Okay. I get why Steven Johnson was like, what did I do? But anyway, back to Snell, working hard and staying on his feet. What a run.
I love to watch competitors. Competitors don't care what the score is, you know? Get the guys up front. They know that their fellow teammates are going to be watching these tapes Sunday or Monday. And they love the guys that finish out the game.
That's finishing out the run. First down, Kentucky. Just inside the 33. Georgia had too many guys on the field, I think.
They did. Once you're in formation, you can't get off the field. That'll be 12 men on the field.
5-yard penalty. First down.
You know, more that I was talking about, Georgia fan, is not just, I think when they look at this game and they saw what happened against Auburn, they're going, okay, we can beat the East guys, but do we have enough to beat the West guys? You know, I mean, you know a lot of Georgia fans. I saw a lot of them in the hotel. Not one of them said one word about last week except that we got the dog beat out of us, right?
Exactly.
Okay? And I think they're wondering, okay, we ran for 300 against these guys, but can we do that against Auburn or Alabama?
And we asked some of the players yesterday, do you want another shot at Auburn? And to a man, they said, you bet we do.
Sure.
They know how many bad mistakes, bad penalties, stupid plays they had in that game. But right now, this is quite a rebound. It's what they needed for sure.
Well, the key, because they were able to run the ball, it allowed Fromm to have the time in the pocket to throw the ball downfield. Big part of the game.
Throwing when he wanted to.
Yep.
Not when he had to. Snell, that's a tough 1 yard, maybe 2. Benny's not quitting. And he's approaching 100 yards. 94 on 22 carries.
Well, he's setting records at Kentucky that, you know, I mean, you look at him, what he's done in 2 years, incredible type of stats he's putting up there, and he's going to hit 2 more games this year to throw more yards up there.
Yeah. 3rd and 5. Juice Johnson in motion into a slot. Steven Johnson to throw out in the flat. Completes it. It's going to be a first down, and nice reboot there by Juice Johnson to pick up a couple extra yards.
Well, this team lost Dorian Baker, one of their receivers, but Garrett Johnson has come through. He's over 2,000 yards career, 4th all time with 149 receptions in his career than what he's done today. And then there's really 4 true freshmen on this lineup that in the future are going to be lining up there. If your first or second team is a true freshman or wide receiver, you got a bright future.
And this is King. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. 2nd down and 10. Well, when you're not talking about who's going to make it to the college football playoff, everybody else is talking about coaches.
Nice.
Who might have a job somewhere else next year. There's some of the hot names going on.
Yeah, when I do these interviews, and I know you have to do them too, they ask one question about football, and they go right to playoffs and then to coaches.
Yep. Every time. 2nd down and 9. Johnson's going to go deep near sideline. Overshot his intended receiver. Was looking for a flag and didn't get it. You know, talking about Mark Stoops, actually, I talked to Mitch Barnhart, their athletic director, before the game. I said, you know, someday somebody's going to come after Stoops.
Right.
He said, we're trying to keep him as happy as we can. You know, they bumped their salary for the assistant coaches and the facilities and all that at Kentucky.
If he's just looking at salaries, he's probably pretty happy. I'll tell you that. He's making good money. But the cascade could start rolling if a Dan Mullen or a Mike Gundy start taking job. And then once jobs start going, they start flowing every different direction.
Well, there was talk about Jimbo Fisher and Texas A&M, and if that happened, would they Mark Stoops be a candidate at Florida State? There's all kinds of stuff you can talk about. It's all just talk right now.
Yeah.
But it's going to have to be action pretty soon because of the early signing period. You can't wait too long to get a coach.
Well, this is what you're forced to talk about when you have a 29-point game like this, right?
We'd be saying this if we were sitting in a restaurant.
That's true.
So.
Well, that'd be after the game. Though listen, one thing I do know is that Kentucky's played a lot of tight games, okay? But we haven't broadcast a lot of tight games this year. That makes us 3-8. We've had 3 tight ones and 8 not so tight ones.
That's your understatement of the year right there. Kick. Akeel Crumpton is going to field this one back around the 14-yard line.
So we had Florida, Tennessee, LSU, Auburn, LSU, Florida, and then the rest.
Ball's bouncing right for the Dogs and for their seniors here, 42-13. And our crew will be there to bring it to you. And a new quarterback in for Georgia. The starter a year ago, Jacob Eason, who was hurt in the first game this year in the 3rd offensive series for the Dogs, going to take over with 5 minutes and change remaining in the game. Here's DeAndre Swift again. They ran it 3 times on the last series. That time they slow it down a little bit.
Yeah, that's 4 out of the last 5 plays they've ran the jet sweep.
So Jake Fromm's day is done. 9 out of 14, 123, touchdown and an interception.
Again, I mean, Georgia would love to be able to keep Jake Fromm at under 20 passes. You know, when he's in that type of mode, throwing the play action passes, the pocket's clean, and he is very accurate. I mean, come on, he's a true freshman playing high school ball a year ago.
Yeah.
You can't expect him to be carrying a team. The question is this enough against the 2 big boys in the West?
One of those big boys will meet Georgia December 2nd at Mercedes-Benz Stadium for all the SEC marbles. Here's Elijah Holyfield getting in the act. And he's got a first down, it appears. Talking about jet sweeps. They ran 3 of these in a row the last time they scored.
Yeah, one works to Swift. Okay, and Jim Chaney is getting bored over there because of the big score. And he goes, you know what? Let's bust the scouting report wide open and run it the other way. Oh, well. This is like being a wishbone coach. Let's call it again.
Yeah, we're 17, then 25, and let's give it to Herring and let him get it down first and goal. There's Jim. One of the most entertaining coaches to talk to around.
That's like calling plays when you're at Army, Navy, or Air Force. Just run that thing again.
Or Georgia Tech, which is what the Dogs will see next week in Atlanta. Elijah Holyfield bounces off a couple of tacklers, and he heads for what might be another first down.
It
really
is
close.
Interesting that as good as Nick Saban's done in Alabama, that's obvious, right?
Yeah.
I think what Kirby has done here in 2 years at Georgia has really put a lot of pressure on the rest of the coaches in the conference.
No
They're
doubt.
all going, well, wait a second. We knew that Nick built the program, but we didn't know the right guy at any program like Georgia does it that fast. I think that put pressure on everyone else in this conference.
And he's still got that possibility out there to win a national championship in his second season, which guys like Bob Stoops did at Oklahoma.
Urban Meyer did.
Meyer.
I think, did Jim Tressel do it? I think.
Yeah, he might have. Yeah, I think so. Brian Herring this time again. Another first down. And we're down under 3 minutes. So Georgia's going to go to 10-1, 7-1 in the conference. They'll win their 57th game in this series. It is 71 games long. Jacob Eason taking all the time before he comes up to the line of scrimmage that he can on that play clock to wind down the game clock.
I think the question is, for Georgia fans, is will this be the last time they see Jacob Eason?
That's a good point.
On this field, unless he comes back in a different uniform.
They've got a good freshman quarterback coming in next year. They've got Jake Fromm, who started basically the whole season this year. Herring broke a couple of tackles. All the running backs trying to get in the act. And Georgia just rolling up rushing yardage now against Kentucky.
Yeah, I don't want to. The word is not garbage time, because when you work this hard to block up front, you got everybody in there. But right now, this is a disillusioned Kentucky team. They want to get the football game over and move on and play Louisville right now.
And we got an injured Kentucky Wildcat. Might be Lonnie Johnson, the corner. Not quite sure.
I mean, Georgia's got a chance to rush for 400 yards in this game.
They were number 1 in the conference rushing last week. They fell to number 2, but this might put them back in the number. We're going to give those pancake eaters for Georgia a little love. They held things up for Jake Fromm to be totally comfortable in the pocket, giving him the time to find receivers down the middle for touchdowns like Wims, and then saying, okay, Nick, Sony, you guys, we're going to give you a crease. We're going to hold our blocks, and we'll see you later. As Georgia rolling towards 400 yards on the ground. Offensive line for the Georgia Bulldogs. Wynn, Baker, Gilliard, Kinley, Thomas, all those guys. Great game today for Georgia. Now, giving another senior an opportunity to be on his home field for the last time, Bryce Ramsey.
This is one of the tough things about college football. You know, Bryce Ramsey at one time was the recruit. He was the 4-star quarterback that came in here. But you got to give a lot of credit. Loves steering at Georgia, stuck it out, done a little bit of everything, and even punted for him. But he's going to get his degree. He's a graduate student already, and Kirby puts him out there for these last couple plays.
Don't forget, coming up after our game, Adam, the guys will have the CBS Sports postgame show powered by Ram. And the most popular play in college football, if you're fortunate enough to run it, is the victory formation and taking a knee, and Georgia's going to take a couple more, and they will be 10-1. Christian Payne in there too as a protector, number 47. Give him a little love. The fullback doesn't carry it a lot, but he sticks his nose in as a lead blocker a lot of the time over his 4 years in Athens. Kirby Smart's 10-1. Kentucky falls to 7-4. And now it's just a Georgia Tech game away for Georgia before heading to the SEC championship game against the winner of Auburn, Alabama in the Iron Bowl next Saturday. Happy seniors. And why not? What a way to bounce back from their only loss of the season. Big time win on their home field, 42-13. The winning coach is with Allie.
Coach, congratulations on the win. You said this team would be defined by how they responded to last week's loss. What did you think about the way they responded today?
A lot of effort, a lot of toughness, good physical team we just played. Proud of these seniors. Sony Michel, Nick Chubb. Look what these guys do for this program. They mean a lot to me personally, but they mean even more to this fan base for all they've meant.
You know, these guys believed in you. They stuck it out with you, and they said, we're going to come back because we believe we can accomplish great things here. What was it like seeing them shine and knowing that they believed in you this whole time?
It made me feel special, and it set this program up for a lot of success. But to have two guys like this that are going to be able to come back forever, play in the NFL next year, meant so much to this program, and we're not done yet. We're proud of both of them.
Congratulations, Coach. Sony, what was it like playing for the last time in Sanford Stadium?
It was awesome, man. You know, just coming out here one time with these boys and enjoying this wonderful crowd, Dog Nation. It was a pleasure. I appreciate them. It was amazing today.
You have some things to give to this wonderful woman over here, don't you?
Oh yeah, I got a big hug to give her. You know, she got a lot more coming. She's been proud of me. This is who I do it for at the end of the day. You know, everybody got their why. I do it for them. I do it for my teammates. And at the end of the day, I just don't want to let them down.
Congratulations. Enjoy this moment with your team.
Thank you.
Did you notice how Nick Chubb in the beginning of the interview went like this?
Yes,
come on, you got to get in here, partner.
Wave over, and he was happy as Kirby's got one of the youngins hugging there, but he was like, Sony, take this thing. Take this thing.
Come on. Let you talk. Kirby with his son out there, Andrew, and his twins, Weston and Julia. Right now, it's time for our play of the game presented by Napa Auto Parts. It's going to be a senior. It's going to be Nick Chubb. Here's a call from Scott Howard. And Scott will have to wait until I finish, I guess. There's Chubb going 55, a season long, for his second touchdown of the game.
We're going to run it with Chubb through traffic across the 50, far sideline, 40, 30, race to the end zone, 15, 10, 5, touchdown, Nick Chubb. It's Chubby time in Athens, Georgia.
It was Chubby time, it was Sony time, it was senior time in Athens today. Celebration begins. A 10-1 season, undefeated against the SEC East for the first time forever for Georgia.
I said in the open that I thought Kentucky was the perfect team to play. It was perfect way for Georgia to end the East and the SEC before they set it up.
Next is Georgia Tech, then it's Atlanta at Mercedes-Benz for the SEC title. That's going to wrap it up for Gary Danielson, Allie LaForce, Brad Nessler saying so long from Athens. 42-13, 7th-ranked Dogs win. College football postgame show powered by Ram is up next, right after these messages. So long from Athens.